Good evening, everyone. Molweni. Assalamu alaikum. Jumelang. I think you're tired, right? It's been a long evening. Well, I won't speak, I hope, for very long, because a great deal of what I had hoped to say has been said. But perhaps let me begin by saying that our country is investing with great vigor in the promotion of innovation. The government is committed to using science and technology to support us in promoting innovation in our country, and through doing that, to grow business opportunities for the people of South Africa and, of course, Africans all over the continent, as well as to ensure that through our innovation, through the new products, the new services, the new processes we develop, that we will have new business formation and thus be able to create new jobs in our country and add to the stock of the elements in our society that contribute to economic growth. Linked to that set of objectives is the very firm intention of ensuring that as a country we do what we should to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as to illustrate in practical terms our commitment to implementing all the undertakings South Africa has given to addressing the impact of climate change. And so, dear Ambassador of Switzerland, of Egypt, colleagues from the German Embassy and other embassies, our representative of UNIDO in South Africa and SADC. I'm very bad at protocol, but good evening to you all. We're absolutely delighted that you all could be with us this evening. And of course, I'd like to make reference to our Director General, Dr. Philip Dwaga, who would have been at home quietly enjoying Friday evening, had it not been for this urgent meeting I had to go to, and which I was happily released from DG in order to be here on time at this wonderful event. So to all our distinguished guests, our supporters, the CEO of TIA, Mr. Barlow Manilal, our wonderful program director, it's a great pleasure to make your acquaintance. There are some amazing women program directors in South Africa. You're all just so brilliant. Make us feel so great. So then, for us as a department, the Global Clean Tech Program is very, very directly linked to the objectives that we articulated in our National Development Plan, our Vision 2030, insofar as our response to climate change, the deleterious effects of climate change, as well as our ambition to develop new solutions to the challenges confronting our society. I was very excited when I came across the work of clean tech when I attended the climate change conference that we hosted in Durban several years ago. So I've been part of this initiative for several years. This program, we believe, contributes very much to our NDP vision, but also to our industrial policy action plan. One of the things that we're trying to achieve as South Africans, and particularly the Department of Science and Technology, as well as the Department of Trade and Industry, is to re-energize the industrial sector in our country. So when we hear all the finalists speaking here about establishing new manufacturing plants, about producing their products in South Africa, about exporting what they produce to the broader global community, we are absolutely excited because those are the key elements of the Industrial Policy Action Plan. These are the things that we want to see done in our country. We are trying very hard to move us away from the situation that we have, where we tend to be very keen to see others as more talented than ourselves, and thus very ready to use our scarce resources to buy products produced elsewhere. It is our intention to turn that around. What we would like to see happen is us attracting customers to our country, customers to Africa, and ending the practice where we are primarily an extraction continent rather than an industrially productive continent. So that's our intention, and that's why we support initiatives such as these. We believe that this initiative will help us, this clean tech program, to really address greenhouse gas emissions, to create industrial opportunities in this set of adaptive responses. We believe that the program will unlock technological innovation, which will help us reduce emissions, not just through the products that we produce, but through developing solutions for industrial processes in a range of sectors and domains, and also addressing some of the very problematic combustion that we have from our current industrial processes. So we are looking forward, for example, to seeing a number of entrepreneurs in future who have done work in South Africa in coal capture. We are keen to see what we do with respect to conversion of coal to other products, what we do with respect to ensuring that the work that we do as an emerging entrepreneur translates into dynamically changing the nature of our communities. I'm very keen to see the products that we have out here transforming villages, transforming townships, transforming towns. I would like that as the Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Trade and Industry, that at some point we come together and look at whether the various resources we've been able to put together in the 4 years of the Clean Tech program can be neatly brought together to provide a set of smart solutions to create smart villages, smart cities, smart townships. And that would be areas that utilize the innovations that you've put before us on every stage of finalists in the past 4 years, and really addressing the interconnectedness in the various clean tech initiatives you have brought to our attention, and having them work in an integrated fashion to create a new kind of social and industrial setting in our country. I'm really keenly looking forward to that, because I think sometimes we do suffer from a predilection to over-create and don't look at what the relationship, the integral elements of our various innovative products might be. And I really would be keen to examine, with the support of TIA, whether we have a set of technologies that we can utilize to do the smart transformation that I'm talking about, so that we encourage much more collaboration than individual development of a range of technologies that might then not be able to respond to a set of common problems and alter towns, villages, or communities. So I'm really looking to that smart experiment using some of what we've had in the past 4 years so that we do not create a situation in which we have discrete items produced by innovators that have to try and coexist individually, derive profit or growth individually, and fail to work in an integrated fashion, addressing the range of dimensions that make up the climate and sustainability challenges that our society is confronted with. So, CEO of TIA, that's a challenge I put to you, and I look forward to your reply, as you are going to be responsible for this area in future. I also, as a part of this department, have a very, very firm belief in the role that small and medium-sized businesses can play in the economic development of our country. We have suffered hugely from monopolies and oligopolies that do not like sharing opportunity, that do not support creating a variety of business institutions, that tend to be rather selfish and don't contribute to long-term, sustainable, inclusive growth. The way to sustainable growth that will be inclusive and benefit a diversity of population is small and medium-sized enterprises. And so for me, the Clean Tech program and what it offers to SMMEs is of immense value to what we'd like to see, a range of thriving businesses growing together, contributing to addressing development challenges. So our training program has been absolutely a wonderful component of what we're doing through the Clean Tech Initiative. Through the training program that the team has developed, we've been working with small and fledgling businesses to incorporate an understanding and application of sustainable and resource-efficient practices in the day-to-day operations of such businesses. And you, if you've been attending these dinners for the past 4 years, you would realize that each one of the innovators has actually thought about how to convert what might be a negligible, wasted product into an efficient solution to an environmentally challenging problem. So these are businesses that are really learning the lessons of the training in resource-efficient practices that is offered through the Clean Tech program. One of the things that we are really trying to move away from as the Department of Science and Technology is this practice of our governments in developing countries where we sometimes want to have scientists focus all the time on creating new knowledge and not enough resources being provided to look at how we can use knowledge that already exists to give us a new solution to an emerging problem. And so we are really, I think, in terms of the way governments behave, beginning to move away from this over-focus in science and technology on research and inadequate attention to innovation. We're tending to have the argument that while we must indeed work with universities, we shouldn't only focus on universities because their primary interest tends to be research of the kind that is new knowledge generating rather than the one we are really concerned about, which is the innovation generating research investment. So we are absolutely keen that our focus must not deviate from that intention, certainly of knowledge creation, but primarily of the conversion of that knowledge to innovation, and using the levers we have available to us to build a very strong relationship between the creators of innovative products that are business enterprises and partners or collaborators who are public service providers. So as we think, as has been presented, of a water saving solution, we should be assisting as the public service, our department, in linking those entrepreneurs with the water and sanitation department, so that the new innovation is utilized to address public service delivery in the water and sanitation sector. If we don't act as a bridge between innovators and public service providers, then it's going to be very difficult for the new entrepreneurs to survive. And it is in the public sector, in the provision of public services, where we can begin to generate the example of what works and what leads to sustainability. That is the muscle that we bring. That is the muscle that I believe we must utilize. And I'm absolutely thrilled that in this program, we have a very conscious effort to focus on developing technology for development. And I'm absolutely excited that this role is going to be assigned more and more to TIA. TIA bridges the innovation gap between new knowledge and technology commercialization, and it provides funding from proof of concept stage through technology development to technology demonstration and market deployment. Now, if Barlow were to be speaking after me, he would share with you that I'm always asking him, Chief, what have we commercialized recently? You're talking about a lot of projects, but what is on the shelf with the TIA marker on it? And fortunately, Barlow is an excellent CEO, and so he's been able to say, Minister, that product, and that product, and that product. So he's really, I think, in a very, very cogent way, come to grips with our intention to ensure that we move through all those stages and that in the end, we have market deployment, because that's what we're keen on. And I've been really excited to see that the role that TIA is maturing into, of allowing for a seamless progression of technologies along the innovation value chain. They also do very well in promoting transfer of skills and knowledge between academic institutions, the universities I spoke of, the research generator, and industry. And particularly the work they're doing with small and medium-sized enterprises, where they already provide conditional grant funding from proof of concept to market validation. Our program director was asking earlier, who's got a checkbook here? And are the checks being signed? Well, we probably should ask who's got their smartphone and are the EFTs happening to the entrepreneurs? Because one of the gaps we do have, while we're absolutely thrilled at what TIA does, is unfortunately we have a very weak risk culture in South Africa and on the African continent. We tend to be rather nervous about investing in emerging small and medium-sized enterprises. And we have to overcome that culture. And perhaps we need to encourage research into how we might develop significant funding pools that will be our risk-taking funds, because we have to expand the resources available to organizations such as TIA and hopefully begin creating new venture capital organizations that would be able to lend small and support big market development and big market impact. Something we still need on the continent. We are fortunate in South Africa, we have a TIA, but we don't have TIAs all over the African continent. We need to look at how we create a pool of risk resources that can support what is emerging from the programs that clean tech supports. I'm absolutely thrilled as well at the partnership we've enjoyed with UNIDO over these years of this program, as well as with the GEF. I think we've seen thought leadership on TIA's part through anticipating the relevance of the clean tech sector and its potential economic and social impact in South Africa. I remember when first we met the GEF team, TIA wasn't a party, but TIA quickly recognized what these opportunities mean and really came into the collaboration very, very strongly, and now they will be the leader. So from January next year, as you've been told, Global Clean Tech Program, South Africa, will be one of TIA's core programs. And we will have TIA supporting clean tech enterprises and acting as an effective catalyst to boost the probability of the commercialization of the innovative products that we hope we will support. TIA has 3 funds which respond to innovation needs. They have the Seed Fund, which assists universities particularly by bridging financing requirements to translate research outputs into fundable ideas for commercialization. The second fund is the Technology Development Fund, which assists individual entrepreneurs and SMEs to advance technologies along the innovation value chain. And the third fund is the Commercialization Support Fund, which prepares innovators for follow-on funding. I've been thrilled at TIA's record, which has supported thousands of small and medium enterprises in accelerating technical innovation through technology development. And I'm hoping, if the media picks up some of the successes we're achieving through TIA, that the Minister of Finance will read about these successes and agree with me that TIA cannot be a 400 million rand program. It must be at minimum a 1 billion rand program. And I hope we'll put that to our colleague. But of course, what we've got to do is grow the economy first, right? Because all this low growth is no good for us. So what we are hoping to do is really ensure that we move from phase 1 support through to a phase 2 program, which will provide end-to-end support in a programmatic manner in order to then facilitate market uptake. We plan to support the alumni of the program from phase 1 right through to that end state of commercialization. We also hope that we will strengthen the resilience through our support programs of the complex South African entrepreneurial economy and help it to gain a niche in the global entrepreneurial market. And that this will all contribute very positively to economic growth and social development in our country. Let me close with a lovely good story. I was absolutely thrilled to hear that the 2014 Global Clean Tech runner-up, Paseka Lesolang, has been selected by Massmart, remember Massmart? As a partner in their supplier development program. Watch the press for announcements on this in the next few weeks. And I'm not breaching any protocol by saying this. Massmart issued the following statement about the relationship with Paseka in October. And I quote, "Massmart is committed to supporting and developing local manufacturers. This is why we are investing in Paseka Lesolang, founder of the WHC leakless valve. He's an innovator and partner in the Massmart Supplier Development Program. Just another way we create opportunities to prosper," close quotes. Paseka has won a long list of awards and acknowledgements and completed various pilot projects, proving the value of his technology. He also signed up as a mentor on the program and is being trained as one of the 5 future South African trainers. We have many other successes we could refer to, and I hope that this evening's awards will reveal many others who will go on to make their communities proud. And we wish those who will be participating in the global elimination and competition that they will make South Africa proud. I can tell you that in every area where we have South African finalists internationally, we always come in the top 3. So don't let us down, right? So let me conclude by really congratulating each of the 11 finalists, but all those who have brought their innovations before us. And just like our struggle for freedom, which eventually got us to freedom, I say to not just the 11, the 100, the 1,000, aluta continua. You will get there. Don't ever give up. An innovator never gives up. They believe in their idea and they make it work. So well done to all of you and keep up the good work. Thank you very much.